Hello dear students of second prep. Let's go to start our episode today as we have to study lesson 1 in unit 2 as we will study the properties of sound. As we studied before in lesson 2 unit 1 we have to know the sound is a mechanical wave and any mechanical wave needs medium to propagate as at the same time we can recognize this point by the meaning of the mechanical waves can't be propagated or can't be transferred in the vacuum or the space. So today we have to study the properties or the main 3 properties of the sound. So let's go to start our point or the first point on our episode today as we have to study the sound properties. Okay. Number 1, as we see here, we have to study the properties of sound waves. We start our lesson with give reason for. Give reason for here. بيقول إيه؟ We hear sound from all directions. احنا بنسمع الصوت من جميع الاتجاهات. Why? طبعا because sound transfers as spheres in their center what? The sound's source. يبقى here we have to know the sound transfer in form of spheres like that. In the center of these spheres is what? Is the source of sound. So the sound transfers as what? Spheres, and in the center of these spheres, the sound source is here. So we hear sound from all directions. Okay. So we have to know the main 3 properties of the sound and how can the ear can distinguish or to differentiate between sounds basis of 3 characteristics. Here we have 3 basics أو 3 characters صفات we can differentiate or to distinguish نحن نتعرف على the sounds according to what, according to what, and according to what. عندنا 3 properties. The first property is what? The first one is sound pitch اللي هي حدة الصوت إذا كان رفيع أو تخين. Number 2 sound intensity قوة الصوت كان strong or weak. Number 3 is sound quality, and here the third point here we use it as sound quality to differentiate between sounds. They are equal in intensity and equal in pitch. يبقى number 3 we will study after we know how can we deal with sound pitch and with sound intensity. Okay, first one is the sound pitch. Sound pitch. What is meant by sound pitch? Sound pitch is what? Distinguishing نفرق between harsh and sharp voices. We distinguish between what? Harsh and sharp voices. Harsh which means what? Harsh which means rough يعني صوت خشن صوت مش صوت ناعم. Sharp which means what? Which means yes يبقى أنا عندي rough عكسها sharp أو إن هو اللي هو الصوت sharp اللي هو نقدر نسميه صوت رفيع. يبقى أنا عندي harsh اللي هو rough or sharp voice. طيب how can we know this sound or this voice is rough اللي هي harsh or sharp? We have factor here. We have factor affecting or we can recognize sound is harsh or sharp according to the أو this factor. Factor affect the sound pitch. إيه هو بقى الفاكتور اللي بيخلي أو اللي بيأثر على sound pitch? We have only one factor. This factor is called what? Frequency. This sound is what? Is called frequency. يبقى the sound is harsh or rough according to its frequency. The sound is sharp according to its frequency. يبقى F هنا is the only factor affecting the sound pitch اللي هي F اللي هي الفريكونسي. So if we have high frequency, so we talk about what? We talk about sharp voice, as voice of birds مثلا، أصوات العصافير مثلا sharp voice, or voice of woman، صوت الست بيبقى sharp لأنه هو has high frequency. While we have another as we have harsh or rough, it has low frequency. So has here what we have harsh voice has low frequency as the voice of lion, as the voice of man مثلا. يبقى number one, sound pitch, what we can distinguish between sounds, what as harsh or rough or sharp here according to the frequency. طبعا عندنا men's voice، يعني الرجاله هيبقى صوته او الراجل صوته عامل ازاي. طبعا هيبقى hard اللي هو harsh، يعني اللي هو rough تخين، عشان هو ايه low pitch. At the same time we have women's voice. Yes اقول له has sharp صوت حاد because it has high pitch. يبقى we can answer here any give reason about what? About low pitch, harsh or hard, rough, or what high pitch اللي هو sharp اللي هو as a woman's voice. اوكي طبعا عندنا الفريكونسي او التون، تون الصوت عندنا طبعا يونيفورم ونون يونيفورم فريكونسي according to the sound. مثلا يقول لي sound of violin، صوت الكمانجة بيبقى طبعا comfort to your ear، بيبقى مريح للأذن لأن هو has uniform frequency مثلا. while noise is none أو not comfort to your ear طبعا because it has أو non-uniform frequency. طيب we have here a device، جهاز اسمه سافارتس ويل، عجلة سافارت. سافارتس ويل بتعمل ايه؟ This wheel as we see طبعا سافارت أو سافارت is the name of scientist، French scientist, his name is سافارت. عمل ايه؟ This device الفانكشن بتاعته ان هو طبعا we know any object أو any sound has frequency. So here we use Savart's wheel to determine the pitch of unknown tones. The pitch of what? Unknown tone. يبقى here we will calculate what؟ احنا هنحسب ايه؟ هنحسب ال pitch of unknown tone. يعني هحسب، واحد يقول لي ال pitch هنحسبه ازاي؟ How can we determine the pitch? We determine the pitch by knowing what? Yes, by knowing yes الفريكونسي low pitch يبقى high، لا هيقول لي low frequency. high pitch يبقى high frequency. يبقى in this case we use this device to determine the pitch, or we determine the frequency. طيب الفريكونسي هنا as we see according to Savart's wheel we studied before، أخدنا قبل كده إن الفريكونسي equal what? equal number of oscillations، صح؟ lesson 1 over time in second sorry, or in lesson 2 wave motion we studied before frequency is number of waves over time in seconds. Okay, but in this device we have what? We have here gear اللي هو ترس gear, or gears teeth الترس اكيد بيبقى ليه teeth زي سنان كده طالعه منه مسننه. يبقى we have here another factor. عندنا فاكتور اخر affect the rule of frequency here. frequency according to Savar's wheel equal what؟ هنشوف مع بعض. equal number of turns، عدد اللفات over التايم. واحد هيقول لي زي number of oscillations over time or number of waves over time. اقول له but here we have another factor as what؟ yes, number of the teeth. طبعا gears teeth. يبقى هنا we will calculate the number of turns او number of cycles، عدد اللفات times number of teeth whatever over time. time طبعا the measuring unit is second. if we have measuring unit يعني not in second as minute or hour, we should convert into second. So we finish the factor or the first property of sound. Number 2 بقى عندنا sound intensity. وكلمة intensity معناها قوة الصوت أو شدته يعني. طيب يبقى we talk about sound intensity. sound intensity معناها ايه؟ معناها distinguishing between strong and weak voices or sounds. يبقى هنا we can distinguish between strong or what weak voices or sounds. طيب we have measuring unit of sound intensity. Yes, the measuring unit of sound intensity is watt per meter power 2. يبقى خلي بالنا we have no problems، ما عندناش مسائل على sound intensity, but we should know the measuring unit of sound intensity and طبعا ممكن اسال عليها complete, choose, correct, whatever. On the other side we have the measuring unit of noise intensity. Here sound intensity is what? Is watt per meter power 2. But we have another measuring unit of noise intensity is decibel. Is what? Decibel. خلي بالنا we have two measuring units, not only one. We have one of sound intensity and we have its measuring unit is what? Watt per meter power 2, or noise intensity and its measuring unit is decibel. Okay. ايه بقى الفاكتورز affecting noise sound intensity اللي بيخلي الصوت قوي او ضعيف؟ We have four main factors يعني بالrelation directly or inversely proportional. As what? Distance. Number one, distance between sound source and the ear. المسافة ما بين اللي هيطلع منه الصوت المصدر والودن. طب لو نتكلم عليها كده if distance increase sound intensity يحصل لها ايه؟ لو المسافة كبرت هل شدة الصوت هتزيد ولا تقل؟ يبقى sound intensity اكيد decrease. يبقى ده first factor, distance between sound source and the and the ear and the what? And the ear. يبقى sound source and ear, if the distance increase the sound intensity decrease. So here the relation is directly proportional or inversely proportional. طبعا اكيد العلاقة هي inversely proportional. ليه؟ يعني واحد فيهم زاد التاني هيقل اللي هو intensity والdecrease. The second factor is the amplitude of the sound. Amplitude of the source of the sound. If you want to clap your hands, مثلا لو نبص هنا مع بعض كده amplitude يعني amplitude it is the maximum displacement away from rest point زي ما قلناها قبل كده. أبعد مسافة as crest or trough maximum displacement upward or downward. فطبعا amplitude لو انا يعني the wide between your hands as here as this distance. If we make our hand like that, we have voice like that. If the distance increase and we clap our hand more, so the sound intensity increase. So if the amplitude increase, the sound intensity, yes, increase. So here we have directly proportional. يبقى أول حاجة if the distance increase between the source and the ear, the sound intensity decrease. كل ما المسافة تزيد أكيد كل ما الصوت هيضعف. يبقى دي number one. Number two, we talk about amplitude. If the amplitude increase, كل ما هتبقى الخبطة أقوى، يبقى the sound intensity will increase. يبقى دي number two. اوكي، عندنا مثلا الاريا اوف فايبريشن. area of vibration. الاريا اوف فايبريشن like what؟ لوت اللي هو العود او الجيتار او الفايلن. The strings الخيوط بتاعتها fixed on box، بتثبتها على صندوق زي الجيتار او اللوت العود. ليه؟ عشان بزود السيرفيس اريا. يعني لما انا بتكلم كده in air I have here now low surface area this only, but if I want to increase the surface area هقرب ايدي كده هلاقي الصوت بقى اقوى. يبقى surface area of vibration, if the surface area increase the sound intensity increase. يبقى نخلي بالنا لو انا understand the situation يبقى انا هفهم. أنا بتكلم على sound، والsound ده mechanical wave needs medium to propagate as we studied before in lesson 2 unit 1. حلو قوي. يبقى عندي تاني بقولهم if the distance increase the sound intensity decrease. أكيد كل ما هبعد كل ما الصوت هيقل. Number 2, if the amplitude increase طبعا الخبطة هتبقى أقوى، يبقى the sound intensity increase. يبقى directly proportional. Number 3, we talk about the surface area of vibration. وطبعا اديتها example بان انا بعمل ايدي كده، او اللوت او الجيتار او الفايلن بنثبته على fixed on box. تمام؟ ليه؟ to increase surface area, and if the surface area increase the sound intensity increase. يبقى برضو directly proportional. طيب حاجة كمان sound intensity and density. احنا خدنا density في اولى اعدادي. density of the medium. density of the medium زي ايه؟ انا عندي liquid مثلا solid gas. طبعا الساوند mechanical wave transfer in solid بسمعه من ورا الباب. transfer in liquid انا بسمع الاصوات برضو تحت الميه عادي يعني. transfer in air as gas. اوكي؟ طيب لو الدنستي اتغيرت، لما we put your ear on the door، لما احط ودني على الباب كده، تمام؟ وحد بيخبط من الناحيه التانيه، انا بسمع الصوت. مش انا ما بقولش اوضح، انا بتكلم على اقوى. ممكن يبقى الصوت قوي بس انا مش فاهم هما بيقولوا ايه، او الصوت اللي بيطلع بيحصل ايه. يبقى انا عندي هنا اهوت لما اجي اتكلم على الساوند انتنسي عندي 4 مين فاكتورز لازم اعرفهم. هو في 5 بس مش هتكلم عليه دلوقتي، انا عايز الاربعه الاساسيين. اول واحد هو distance inversely proportional. density of medium زي الكربون دايوكسيد مثلا، اللي عارفين لو جار contains كربون دايوكسيد بس الساوند انتنسي فيها انكريز. ليه؟ لان الكربون دايوكسيد has high density. يبقى number 2 density of medium directly proportional. Number 3 surface area of vibration box the sound intensity increase. تمام؟ Number 4 اللي احنا عندنا قلناها اللي هي الامبليتيود if the amplitude increase the sound intensity increase. يبقى انا عندي 4 main factors as directly proportional 3 و inversely proportional only 1. Number 4 بقى لو بصينا عليها كده نمبر 5 سوري اللي هي direction of wind. طبعا هنا كلام يعني direction of wind بالنسبه لكم هيبقى كلام سهل جدا اعتقد. يعني if you talk يعني او speak، يعني بلاش talk هخليها speak. لو انا بتكلم against winds بكلم صوتي عكس اتجاه الرياح. طبعا يبقى اكيد sound intensity طبعا decrease. اكني بتكلم قدام المروحه in front of the fan. تمام؟ يبقى sound intensity decrease if we speak against wind direction, or the sound intensity increase if we speak or talk with wind direction. اتكلمت مع اتجاه رياح. لو نشوف كده الكلام ده، اول حاجه طبعا قلناها اللي هي effect of distance between sound source and the ear. طبعا هنا هقول له inversely proportional. If the distance increase, the sound intensity yes decrease. Number 2 طبعا هنا في عندي قانون مهم اسمه inverse law of sound intensity او inverse square law. بيقول ايه؟ اللي احنا قلناه من شويه اللي هي inversely proportional، اللي هو ايه بقى؟ ايوه sound intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between source of sound and ear. طبعا هنا just square distance يعني distance power 2، يعني sound intensity I inversely proportional with distance power 2. واحد يقول لي distance ليه؟ انت قلت distance square ليه؟ لان هو احنا بنحسبها from A to B then from B to A، فمرتين يعني. whatever if the distance increase the sound intensity decrease or inversely proportional. عندي الامبليتيود of the source. طبعا if amplitude increase if the amplitude increase the sound intensity increase، يبقى directly proportional. Okay, here we talk about what? Amplitude. Then number 3 area of vibrating surface. طبعا احنا قلنا هنا surface area زي الجيتار او اللوت او الفايلن. we fix جيتار طبعا strings on hollow wooden box. ها كلمة box دي هنا as مثلا resonance box اللي هو الصندوق الرنان زي ما بيسموه بالعربي. يبقى we increase what? surface area of vibration. yes يبقى to increase the surface area of vibration to increase the sound intensity. يبقى the relation here is directly proportional. Number 4 the medium density. طبعا medium density قلنا ان هي directly proportional with the طبعا sound intensity. طبعا till now we just have to recognize the last point in our lesson, but not today. Next episode inshallah we will talk about the types of sound waves: sonic, infrasonic and ultrasonic. Until we meet again, thank you, see you, goodbye.